going on, YouTube? It's about that time again. Now we tune in to Reality Talk. We're going to listen to Value 90 on Reality Talk 314 Day. Before we get this started, I would like to say thank you for tuning in to Reality Talk. Give me your feedbacks about it. Like and subscribe to this. Hit the notification bell when you stay notified when I drop out a new one. Hit the thumbs up, you agree. Hit the thumbs down, you disagree. And we're going to tune in to Real Talk 100. So let's get this started. Now, 314 Day has started in 2006. And when they started 314 Day, they used to have the main events. Like they will have the St. Patrick's Day parade as well, because St. Patrick's Day is like 3 days away. So the 314 Day is in St. Louis. And when they had a 314 Day, they have like block parties, specials on food, like everything be costing $3.14. And they have different concerts and everything. So the Blues tickets and the Cardinals tickets and the Battlehawks tickets, even the soccer tickets, is $3.14. Now, let me give you another sample. Now, the north side, I'm going to tell you what the north side is too. We're going to get to that in a minute. So they have those main events, and it'd be fun on that. One day I might go back home, and I'm going to go back home, and I'm going to celebrate the 314 Day. Because I do have family that live in St. Louis, Missouri, and I want to go out there and celebrate it. But the reason I would not go out there at the time, because it was very, very dangerous. So the north side, the reason why north side is like that, because they don't have money to fix up north side. So if something happened, that if you got money, you could able to get you a house to fix up. But until then, you ain't got no chance, because the north side, that's where all the crime, that's where people get killed, selling drugs, prostitution, gang banging. It's all located on the north side. Now the south side is not that bad, but it's bad. It's bad enough. Like the north side. So the north side is worse than the south side. Hit the like button. And by the way, if you go out there to visit, you got to know where you're going. You got to know which place to go to. And you got to know exactly where you at, because you don't want to go to the wrong neighborhood, and you might end up getting robbed, or you might get killed. You never know. So when you go to White Castles has a special on those sliders. Now when you go to Chop Suey, they have 4 Chinese chop sueys. Every last one of them is very good. Those places will be packed with people. Even though even though Chinese people work there, but the Chinese food is real. This is the real place to go to. Now, they had these sodas called Vest sodas. They had those sodas called Vest. Those sodas, Vest, they sell those sodas, and them sodas I used to drink when I was growing up back home. Now, we got another spot called Elmo's Pizza. Now, we've been over this before a couple of years ago, but I want to go over it again. So, Elmo's Pizza, so they have like a large or any size pizza for $3.14, just that day only. So if you go catch those specials out there, because no, in the reality, those pieces cost like $10 to $15, all depending on what kind of piece you buying. Now, and then when you go out of St. Louis, see, you go and you have those main events, you got stuff out there, but you got to be very, very careful too, because you're gonna run some stuff that's happening going on out there. So you got to be out there on the lookout because it's a lot of blacks. Most of the blacks that lives in St. Louis, where you never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. You see stuff what they doing now, but when you see something, you get up out of there. It's a place to go visit, but living there, not a good idea. Not a good plan living there. Because if you go up there and you go up there and you mess around up there, you don't know nobody up there, then chances are you're gonna be in the world full of shit. See, me not being out there for 30 years since we left there, because we all grew up, we all left there, besides East St. Louis, Spanish Lake, Ferguson, Florenzi, and Blackjack, and Universal City. Those areas out there are close, like in St. Louis County, like outskirts of St. Louis County. Hit the like button. Now, when you go, you can go visit inside of the Arch. When you go visit inside of the Arch, a couple of blocks from Grand Avenue, then you can go sightsee inside of the Arch. Now, another thing you can go is the Grove. Now, the Grove is located in the middle part of the city. It's in the middle part, and that's where the LGBT located. So you think of West Hollywood. Now, if you want to go to the IRS building, you go to 1200 Clark Drive. That's where the IRS is. Not Clark, Sprout Street. You go to Spruce Street, I mean. That's where the IRS located. Now, when you go to, now, they finished building the St. Louis City Soccer Club, so they going to share the stadium with the Battlehawks. So you got to go to North 20th and Market. That's where the soccer stadium and stuff is. You go to 20th and Market, North 20th Street. That's the beginning of the north side, by the way. Now, me, when we was growing up, back when we was younger, we stayed off of Enright Avenue, and we stayed off of Maffett Avenue. Those the cities we stayed at. Now, Barnes Hospital is a Jewish hospital that everybody goes. But you can go to Washington Park, or you can go to Washington Park Hospital or stuff like that. Because when you go, then you go off of not Kings Highway. It's a street. It's a busy intersection going towards St. Louis University. You got Washington University and you got St. Louis University. Those where those located. Again, now if you go to West St. Louis, you can go to West St. Louis as well. That's located on the other side before you get to University City. Hit the like button. Those places I just told you, showed you, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know where all the spots at me. I got to find those spots again because we haven't been out there so long. Now when you go to those with the residential streets, half of that city don't have fences. It don't have fences. You can go through somebody's yard and you can go through another street. And I'm gonna say it again. You can go through somebody's yard and go to another street. Hit the like button. So St. Louis is most likely home. That's all I could say. And I would like to go visit there one day. Besides watching the Cardinal game, the Blues game, and the St. Louis SC game. I would like to go there one day and check it out. And again, you gotta be very, very careful going out there because it can get very, very hectic and people got killed in that city. People got killed in that city. It's a whole lot of stuff going on in that city where you do not want to mess around. Hit the like button. Now I'm gonna give you another episode. Now, the projects, I forgot the name of the projects I had just talked about. The projects had came out and I think the projects had came out in 1956, and they end the projects out there because the one of the projects is vacant because it was very, very dangerous and people end up getting killed. But the homeless still go there to sleep. They still go to those projects to sleep. I forgot the name of those projects. I had it on my mind just now. And yep. And those projects had the environment where you live in there because there's are a radioactive waste. One of them called Coldwater Creek, which is the waste from World War II, uranium processing at the chemical works that linked to cancer in neighborhoods surrounding Coldwater Creeks. Now, let me tell you one thing. It was a chemical was in the air in St. Louis where people ended up getting Agent Orange. Now, Agent Orange supposed to be came from some chemical they have in the air in St. Louis that and it also killed a lot of people there too as well during the World War II back then, which is in 1945, and they was all dying from cancer, and called it the Coldwater Creek, where waste and stored open to unprotected environment. And so now vacancies and dangerous buildings, unsecured vacant property in a danger zone, prone to fire, squatters, and the structural failures. The city frequently takes demolition projects to remove these hazards, such as a fort, intention, force, inventions of sufficient fit neighborhoods. So all this, it was waste. All this stuff was waste. Now the dangerous projects called Peru Eagles, which is a project going on in the heart of St. Louis where they had to close it down. They had to close it down. It was vacant inside. It was vacant, and it lasted only a few couple of decades. Now, Goodfellow was a busy street before. Kings Highway was a busy street. Natural Bridge was a busy street, but it got so dangerous now that people start hanging out there doing car shows. So that street there, everybody goes on that street. Hit the like button. So the projects had black and white residents that lived there before they was facing maintenance issues. They was facing some issues where like pipes would be busted, it'd be bugs, mice. It was very infested, and they ain't got the money to fix it. So they end up, all them people end up moving out those projects and relocated because they built it, because remember, they built their projects. The Peru's Igloos was built in 1956. And they would start prostitution, gangs, selling drugs, all this stuff going on in their projects. Even people got killed in the projects before they closed it down. So the biggest is, like I said, the biggest issue that Persian, like violent crime, significant population, decline deep, seated in racial, economics, political fragmentation, and dysfunctional of people that live in there only of gun violence and black residents. Now, we had gone over the tornadoes they had recently last year, and I had talked to that on one of my videos about the tornado going on, the biggest tornado they had back home. So the crime going, see what is the safest, the safest right now. You have to know where you at. The safest, I say the safest neighborhood that a person would go there without getting a leg to scratch is Princeton Heights, Linwood Park, White House, and Oakville Southwest. Those are the safest neighborhoods in St. Louis County to live, because they will not go over there and mess around over there. So if you go to, and then if you go to, we're going to go to the 5 most safest St. Louis area, and that's what we're talking about right there. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. But you're going to be paying a pretty good piece of penny, though. You're going to be paying more money. The more money, the safer. The cheapest, then you're going to have problems. You're going to be dodging bullets. That's the way. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. North side and south side is going to be dangerous, no matter what the status is. So don't even get no ideas where you going to go out there and think that's Magic Mountain, you think it's fun out there, and you think it's going to be some type of playing around. It's not a game, because you see all that stuff out there, you see all the events out there. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. When you look on that thing, when you look on your phone, you gonna tell you what's going on. Same thing here, because you think you getting away from a problem, but the problem is it's a stalker. The problem, your stalker is a problem. When you ready to go over there, you got problems over there. When you go over here, you got problems over there. And there's no point going to East St. Louis. That's the bigger problem. That's it's worse. They don't have enough money to get North Side fixed. They ain't got enough money to get East St. Louis fixed. I'm telling you the difference. And that's in Illinois. East St. Louis, that's in Illinois. When you cross East Bridge or you cross Martin Luther King Bridge, you in East St. Louis. Now they finally building a train. They built a light rail now where you can go to East St. Louis in the light rail to go off of Pennsylvania Station, or you can go from Busch Stadium Station, or you can go to Pennsylvania Station or further down. Where I think the train ends probably in Collegeville, if I'm not mistaken, or Caseyville, one of them. I'm not sure. But don't think it's a game. Don't think this is a game. So I'm going to give you the first project housing they've built is Cochrane Gardens, and they completed it in 1953. It contains 704 units in mix of medium and high-rise building. Was followed by 3 more projects: Pru Igloo's, Varlin, and Doris Webb. So now I'm gonna tell you about the Pru Igloo's. It's not safe to walk at night. It tells you that when you walk in those streets at nighttime, when you walk in those streets in St. Louis at nighttime, that's where the danger come out. So I'm gonna tell you one thing. St. Louis got the highest crimes. Very high. Very high. Homicides. And that's why the population go down to 200-something population in that city. Hit the like button. There's a lot of population hitting that city. I'm telling you, it's not going to get better. The only way you're going to get better, you're going to need a gang squad to make it get better. But until then, it's not going to be better. Hit the like button. So these are the dangerous cities. Very dangerous. Besides gangbangers and all these other people living there. Drive-by shootings. Walk-by shootings. So it's okay, Liz. It's okay to go out there and visit. You can go out there and visit, but you come up out of there. Come on up out of there. Don't even think about living there. I'm giving you the access. I'm giving you. I'm not doing it to scare you. I'm not giving. You can go to St. Louis all you want to, but be very careful going there. It's not a joke. It's not a joke, and they've been doing this for so many years. So many years. So I'm gonna shout out to 314 Day, which is March 14th. Now I want to know if they're gonna have a 618 Day, which is June 18th. So we're gonna talk more about this. So thank you for watching Reality Talk